Hi everybody, welcome back to the Springfield and Western, and also welcome to the latest layout update video. In this video we are going to check out my latest project, which is this Caboose for the Springfield and Western, and we will also check out some possible extension plans for the layout, some ideas, and some pros and cons. So let's start with the Caboose. As you can see, it's not glued together at the moment. Yeah, first of all, I've never been a Caboose guy. I never really liked these things. No idea why, but when I saw this model on eBay, I just had to grab it because it was so cheap, and I thought I'm going to create something from this. The plan was to do some kind of makeshift office building for the Springfield and Western. In at least one or two videos from the prototype, I saw these kind of makeshift office buildings that railroads created from old cars or vehicles. And yeah, I thought that that's cool, that's a good idea. And so that was the plan for this car. So I got rid of the trucks and all that. And so obviously I had to paint it into the Springfield and Western paint scheme. As I don't have an airbrush, as usual, I just took a brush and painted this thing. It turned out okay, I believe. I can work with that. So what I did not like about the model was that it didn't really have windows. I mean, it had windows, but these were really just holes in the plastic structure. So what I did was to cut little pieces of see-through plastic and glued it into the car. So that's really just leftovers from, I don't know, some packaging or whatever. But I believe it makes a little difference. So it's still better than just holes in the car. Next thing to do has been the water slide decals. Yeah, I just had some leftovers and they fit perfectly. So where am I going to place the new makeshift office building of the Springfield and Western? My first idea was to just use this space because in the end I never really liked the way it looked, and so I thought I could just have it somewhere here, I don't know. But seriously, that didn't make any sense to me. So it just didn't look right. So I had to come up with another idea. So at around this point in time, I managed to make some space available for a little extension module. And so obviously I considered what options I'm going to have. So the initial idea was to have a little industry which produces glass items, so maybe bottles or some other kind of glass material. And for glass you also need sand, and that sand was supposed to be delivered by 2-bay covered hoppers. So this would have been the track plan with the extension over here. And approximately here, there should have been the offloading facility for 2-bay covered hoppers. So there would have been space for up to two 2-bay covered hoppers over here. Here in the front, this would have been some kind of storage track, or just some space available for moving around cars just the way you need it. The warehouse would have stayed the same, so that's the track as it is today. What I didn't really like was the requirement to rip this track out from the current segment entirely. So because if you want to do this, then you need space for 3 tracks over here. So you have to shift this track closer to the structure, and then so you have a little curve over here, and then you have another switch, and by this you have space for 3 tracks over here. Then you have this track for unloading covered hoppers. You keep this track for maybe loading boxcars, and then you have this track for all the requirements that arise during operations. Then there would have been this little space here in the front, and my idea really was to have the makeshift office over here. But as you already can see in this shot, this would have been super cramped, and I really didn't like that. I mean, everything is so compressed, so tight. So in the end, I walked away from this plan because it did not convince me. So several months later, I decided it's probably better to have the extension at the opposite side of the layout. So here's the grade crossing, and there would have been this light S-curve over here. And by this, you would have this space available to have the caboose or makeshift office sit in front of the track. And my idea was to have some kind of view block in front of the train, which departs this area. But you know what? I mean, that's just a single caboose, so there's no way that this thing is hiding a full train. So this didn't make any sense either. It would have been good to have all the space in the back, because this would have opened up the scene even more. I like the idea of just open field right here, but I never really liked this S-curve. So now we are coming to the idea which I have right now. So this extension would also be on this side of the grade crossing, but then I want to do another turnout right here, and this is supposed to represent a runaround track. So the industries are on the right hand side, and it just would make a lot of sense to have a runaround track right here. I don't have the space to create the whole area, but by this I can pretend it's there. And then in this area you have a little space available for a little Springfield and Western company side. So the makeshift office building could sit right here. Then there would be some kind of gravel parking lot in front of it, and this would be connected to this gravel road right here. So the car could come from here and park right there. And I already got myself some pickup truck models from eBay. They look like this. So I will have to paint one of these, and then the idea is to have this sit in front of the caboose. And I believe this would make an interesting scene. One big advantage of the idea to extend the layout beyond the grade crossing to this side is that at the same time you extend the lead track for this switch. So at the moment when you want to go to Warner Systems, you can never have more than one car and the engine, because there's just not enough space for more than one car beyond the engine. And this, of course, would bring us back to the idea of extending this track into this area. As I said before, I never really liked how this grassy area right here turned out. So it wouldn't be too bad if it goes away. So what I could do would be something like this. Have a slight curve beginning already at the Warner Systems module. And then you have this extension right here. In the end, there even would be enough space to have another boxcar sit right here. But as I said before, it would be cool to have a side for my 2-bay covered hopper. So I would prefer to have a 2-bay covered hopper unloads some kind of stuff at the side. As this track would end very close to the edge of the micro layout, my idea is to have this track kind of enclosed into a building. So I've seen this many times on other layouts and on prototype videos, and I believe it could look rather cool if you have a building right here where the car disappears into the building. So you could either connect this building to Miller & Sons, or you don't have to do this and you connect this to Warner Systems. So by this you would also create some kind of mini backdrop and close this gap. And what you also could do, you could say these are not two industries, but maybe this is just one big industry. In closing, my question for you would be, what kind of industry this could represent? So first of all, I obviously don't have to do this. My first priority will be to do the extension beyond the grade crossing. But when this will be finished, I could do something like this. And I'm not sure if it makes sense to connect the two structures. And I don't know exactly what kind of car would go there, but I have 2-bay covered hoppers, so it would be cool to use them in a useful way. I'm just not sure, because there won't be space for 2 of them, and I still have this idea with the glass making industry in my head, but I don't think it would be too realistic if this receives just a single 2-bay covered hopper. So no idea. Maybe you can help me out. So I really don't want to make the video too long this time. If you have any questions or comments, and also if you have some kind of advice for me, that would be highly appreciated. So my first priority, of course, would be to extend the line beyond the grade crossing, so this area right here. And when this is finished, I will once again come back to the idea of these changes right here. So maybe I will do some of these. Maybe I won't change that at all. We will see. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, give a thumbs up or leave a comment. Other than that, I'm just going to say happy model railroading to you and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in to the Springfield and Western. Bye bye.